Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin, back again with another reaction video. And in this one, we're going to take a look at the Asangoham YouTube channel and their cool new video called The Ancient Secrets of Semen Retention. Weird.
I'm immature enough to find that funny, just the title alone.
Maybe there's something we
Get awkward.
It's only been out for about a month, and it's got like 170,000 views. People are fascinated with this, and they're like, "Hey, what's up here?"
I guess people do anything just to try to improve their life. Maybe if I just stop whacking it, that'll save me. We'll see. Let's take a look, though. It's long too, 18 minutes.
All right, let's get into it.
Semen retention is a practice that allows a man to channel his sexual energy into other areas of his life, such as creativity, productivity, and spiritual growth. Mantak Chia, Taoist master and advocate of sexual energy cultivation. As Balzac said, there goes another novel. Woody Allen, as Alvy Singer, after having sex with Annie Hall. Why would one voluntarily choose to give up one of life's greatest pleasures? Why would one choose to give up the orgasm? Why would one choose to be celibate? Many spiritual traditions suggest celibacy as a way in which to optimize one's spiritual practice. To understand why this is so, we must first understand what is spiritual practice in its essence. If one is to make a commitment to celibacy, they must first become very clear on exactly why they are making that commitment. First, we must come to the understanding that existence is fundamentally unsatisfying. That while we may achieve some level of satisfaction, it is always temporary and not lasting. Second, we must come to the understanding that our greatest wish is to be happy, not temporarily happy, but eternally happy. It has been suggested by many spiritual masters, sages, saints, and gurus that the way to do this is to completely release all desire-motivated action, and instead use this freed energy for an unceasing inquiry into the nature of self. For it is the self that stands prior to existence, and thus free from it. It is the self that remains unaffected by life's ups and downs. It is the self that one ultimately recognizes as happiness itself. Thus, the essence of spiritual practice is to turn attention to its source. There's an old Zen story that goes like this. A Zen student said to Master Ichu, "Please write for me something of great wisdom." Master Ichu picked up his brush and wrote one word, "Attention." The student said, "Is that all?" The master wrote, "Attention, attention." The student became irritable. "That doesn't seem profound or subtle to me." In response, Master Ichu wrote simply, "Attention, attention, attention." In frustration, the student demanded, "What does this word attention mean?" Master Ichu replied, "Attention means attention." The great Indian sage Ramana Maharshi was once asked if he could summarize his teaching in one word. He also replied, "Attention." Attention to what? Attention to the source of attention. The source of attention, often called the self, is where freedom and happiness inherently lie. This is not something to be believed, however. This is something one discovers for themselves. Commonly, our attention is captured by the appearance of the world. Most generally, we can say that it is held fast by three areas of functional desiring: money, food, and sex. We could also say that among these three areas, it is sex that, for many, has the tightest grip on attention. Therefore, if attention is freed from the realm of sex, this often translates into a great deal of attention being freed. Attention that can then be turned to its source. So far, this understanding of freeing attention from the realm of sex and turning it to its source applies, of course, to both males and females. It is fairly simple to understand how this might assist both males and females in their spiritual practice of turning attention to its source. However, in this video, we will focus on the ways in which males can achieve yogic and bodily regeneration through semen retention. This yogic regeneration, while not absolutely necessary to spiritual practice, can provide a very helpful optimum physical platform that can greatly assist one in their spiritual practice. The practice of turning attention to its source. Semen retention is a very ancient practice. For centuries, this has been a practice that utilizes the manipulation and circulation of sexual energy. At the core of almost all human endeavor lies the subconscious desire for successful procreation. This makes sexual energy not only a powerful source for vitality, but for creativity as well. This open secret has been known and practiced for millennia by both spiritual and secular practitioners who have recognized its incredible transformative potential. The wisdom found in ancient Taoist and Tantric texts also point to the immense significance of controlling sexual energy. They teach the extraordinary capacity to channel this potent resource towards unparalleled success. Success not only in the professional, creative, and personal, but also in deep spiritual attainment. The great practical benefits of semen retention are in its physiological effects. Retaining one's semen nourishes the brain with phosphorus and zinc, amplifying creativity, clarity of thought, and problem-solving skills. Testosterone levels also increase, building muscle, confidence, and even enhancing one's attractiveness. This video will discuss the practical benefits of semen retention, also on how it might assist one in their spiritual practice. By the end of the video, we will offer a step-by-step program for the practice of semen retention and a guide on how to avoid or stop masturbation.
Seems like a good place to get the first pause in there.
Oh, it's just, I almost laughed a couple of times because it'd be like, said something about releasing and, you know, like showing silhouettes of women walking and I'm like, it's just funny. So what do you think?
Well, I like the how it starts off with, like, you know, knowing first why you're doing what you're doing. This whole subject kind of like made me, for some reason, think about like my childhood and, you know, some of the things I was taught coming from a religious background. And usually it's like, don't do that because, you know, you'll make baby Jesus cry, or, you know, it's evil, it's sinful, just don't do it. And those things don't work. That it seems like maybe they do on some kind of like surface level, but like it would be way better as a young person to know the benefits that this is explaining, and like why would you even do this? Why would you not fap or like or retain your semen? Like what are some of the benefits? And like, what can it lead to? I like the idea of like sparking some young mind out there that, like, you know, there's like a possibility something amazing might happen if you try doing this. You know, rather than just don't do that, stop it, it's dirty.
Right. Yeah, it might be a more effective approach if you were actually looking to try to get people to be responsible sexually.
Yeah.
It's a more appealing approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's a concern, right? That's a concern for young people that are sort of haven't mastered their emotions necessarily. You know, many young people have, but I'm saying for people who are yet to master their emotions and are sort of being guided unconsciously by their hormones, there's a little bit of concern that they're going to make wise decisions. It can be a powerful urge, like, forget safety, let's just do it, deal with the consequences afterwards. That can be frightening for adults that are trying to look after younger people, right?
Yeah.
But as you were talking there, it got me to thinking about the idea of like finger wagging at the perversion of sexuality or something, like, you know, because it's evil, that's why. Dirty by your natural thing. Imagine how corrupt that would be to take a young boy or girl or man or woman, whatever, and make them feel guilty about their natural, like, beautiful, you know, natural sexual inclinations. Imagine trying to make them feel guilty.
Yeah.
And then I thought about people that finger wag about perversion to begin with. It's like, there is a galaxy of different types of kinks that people are into.
Yeah.
You know, how could all these people be like disgusted by each other's stuff when we all know that there's all kinds of weird crap out there? Why is one thing any weirder than the other, aside from things that actually cause harm to people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't do anything that's going to be harmful or something that's going to mess somebody up or not be consensual, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just weird that we have this idea that certain sexual behavior is bad, especially when it's with two consenting people.
Yeah, humans, it's funny, kind of like our history definitely shows that, like, for the most of our existence, that we've tried to, like, put it into some, like, constrained parameter of, like, sex will only be done in this fashion, like this.
I heard at one point they literally put pants on piano legs because they didn't want the young guys being aroused by piano legs or something. Like they like covered them or something. Anything that sexualizes them more somehow. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you're right. This suppression of it and
yeah.
But
when like there's like think about what even if you did want to, like, use it in a corrupt way, like, you could say, like, see, if you don't fap, it'll actually make you more attractive to the opposite sex. Like, that's better than being like, it's evil, don't do it.
Right, but like, why wouldn't you want somebody to fap?
I know. I'm just saying.
Why would you be obsessed with somebody else's fapping habit?
No, but what I'm saying is that, like, I was just saying if you want to use it in a corrupt way. But if there's something to be gained here, if there's something... I think that's fascinating.
Neither of us are fapologists, so I can't prove that if you don't fap, your testosterone will raise and you'll be good looking. I feel like I've always been the same amount good looking at all the stages of my life. Maybe sometimes a little worse than others, but
we also might be getting ahead of ourselves. We're only a quarter of the way in here.
That's true. Let's get through this thing.
So let's see.
Forgive me if I laugh. It's my own humor, making jokes in my head.
Let's see where this leads us.
In Chinese Taoist philosophy, semen contains a life essence known as jing. It is jing, which not only nourishes the body, but also is the link between the physical and spiritual realms. In Indian spiritual traditions like Tantra and Ayurveda, the preservation of semen aligns with conserving vital energy. This enhances both bodily health and one's progress to spiritual enlightenment. In all these spiritual traditions, it is suggested that the abstaining from ejaculation enables the redirection of sexual energy. By redirecting this energy correctly, one can cultivate elevated states of consciousness. This can often lead practitioners to greater mental clarity, emotional equilibrium, and a deeper connection to spiritual dimensions. In traditional Chinese medicine, this life force is termed Qi. Hindu texts refer to it as prana. Qi and Prana, though rooted in the subtle body, are also significant for the physical body too. Both these terms are very close correlates to the breath, the idea being that energy is ingested through the breath. However, the further spiritual implications of Qi and Prana are profound. Semen retention is not only closely related to the concepts of Qi and Prana, but also to the Hindu-derived chakra system. The chakra system is a foundational aspect of Hinduism and Tantra. It understands the human body as an energetic system. That system comprises 7 main energy centers, or chakras, aligned along the spine. Each chakra is associated with specific physical, emotional, and spiritual attributes, representing various aspects of human consciousness and existence. Starting from the root chakra at the base of the spine and ascending to the crown chakra at the top of the head. It is these energy centers, chakras, that are said to regulate the flow of life force, the prana or Qi. In many spiritual traditions, it is taught that the balanced and unobstructed circulation of energy through the chakras is necessary for spiritual enlightenment.
By the way, the visuals on this, I'm digging. I love the style of this video.
So far
visually.
good.
Semen retention, or the building of unreleased sexual energy, activates the root chakra. By abstaining from ejaculation, one harnesses and accumulates energy in the root chakra. From the root chakra, this energy, known as Kundalini energy, moves naturally and effortlessly through all the chakras. This sexual energy, redirected from physical release, can now make its way to higher energy centers, more subtle and spiritualized chakras. This circulation and transmutation of energy through the chakras is said to facilitate not only spiritual growth, but also personal growth. These benefits include increased clarity, heightened intuition, and a deeper connection to higher states of consciousness. This redirected sexual energy can also have real creative and transformative potential. individuals may find that they find increased inspiration, creativity, and a deeper connection to their life's purpose. These are all qualities recognized by many with the harmonious flow of life force through the chakras. This movement of sexual or life force energy through the chakras can even exceed these benefits. In fact, the activation of the root chakra and the coincident awakening of Kundalini energy can eventually lead to an ascension through all the chakras, culminating in the crown chakra. As it reaches the crown chakra, a divine merging occurs, a realization of a profound oneness with the universe. In other words, enlightenment. Thus, the simple act, though sometimes extremely difficult, of semen retention can initiate a journey that moves through breath, energy circulation, and bodily transformation. A self-evolution that culminates not only in spiritual enlightenment, but also in a personal creative vitality.
The art.
In the
Part
West,
of it.
the practice of semen retention finds its roots in the ancient principle of transmutation. This was a concept originating from the alchemical schools of thought during the Hellenistic period, a period spanning from the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BC to the rise of the Roman Empire around 31 BC. During this period, Greek philosophers deeply examined the mysteries of the Egyptian schools of thought. This gave rise to the amalgamation of Greek and Egyptian philosophies known as alchemy. Hermeticism, a philosophy developed from this fusion, documented the principles of alchemy. These principles were outlined in the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet was an ancient text of mystical teachings regarding the nature of reality. One of the principles found in the Emerald Tablet was the principle of transmutation. This was the concept of how one substance might be transmuted into another. Processes of transmutation could also be discovered within the human body. Pythagoras, a pre-Socratic Greek philosopher, believed that semen held vast alchemical properties. He believed that by conserving this vital fluid, rather than expending it wastefully, it was transmuted into expansive creative energy. Throughout history, many philosophers, successful individuals, leading thinkers and creatives, including Aristotle, Plato, Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, and Beethoven, have all practiced semen retention. They all subscribed to Pythagoras' notion of transmuting semen into creative force.
There's a weird effect I've noticed here when you're talking about people that aren't fapping, you actually somehow can make them seem creepier by that, like Aristotle. It's like zooming in, and I'm like, all you can think about is that guy's full of semen he's not releasing, you know? Because there's other byproducts of retention too. You might get a little aggressive, you know what I mean? You might start to get a little bit pent up. And like, dude, would you just go fap already? You're radiating heat. You know, like, it's making me more creative.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I think to also keep in mind when watching a video like this is that, like, I hope no one would go away thinking like, well, I'll never have a chance at, like, you know, any type of spiritual enlightenment if that's the thing that I can't do, if that's the thing that I can't give up or
I'm
do.
sure that there's veins of things that incorporate sex into spirituality. There's actually a way you can get enlightened from having sex probably out there.
Yeah.
But right, you know, how personal are we going to get here? Like, you know, all of a sudden I'm like, I can't be like, I'm going to give this a try, because that suggests I'm not trying that already. And then now you're associating fapping too much with the characters.
Yeah.
It's a personal thing, you know.
Yeah, I think it hits like there's different things you can try to, and like there's all different types of like entertaining this on the spectrum. Like you could, like, there are some people, like, say you're a Catholic priest, you may like be like, I'm in for all my life. And then there might be a person who's like, I'll give it a go for a month, or I'll give it a go for, 3 months and see what happens.
I've met an asexual person that is not, I think I maybe know more than one that's like not sexual, not attracted to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, I think if it's of interest, give it a try. Yeah. What's the harm in giving this a try?
Yeah.
You know, of all the things you could actually do that might be a benefit, there's some interesting, appealing aspects of this.
Yes.
So it's like,
yeah.
Definitely sounds like worth giving a try. Not saying I haven't.
Yeah.
Not saying I haven't already. But there are other videos. There's
Yeah.
people have been studying the heck out of this over the years.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
challenges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Day 42. Ugh. What are you doing? No, I don't want to shame anybody that does that. I actually appreciate people's honesty.
Yeah.
Because I have seen other videos, and one guy was like, that was his whole thing. He tried it, and he was kind of like a success guru type guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, sometimes when you don't fap for a long time, you know, he put in hilarious memes of like guys glowing, and like you start to give off like I don't fap vibes. And then if you do it too much, you can give off creepy pervert vibes. You know, like you maybe fap too much.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd say, listen to what your own heart is telling you on this.
Your heart. Listen to your heart on.
I don't know. Like, I'm sure this is speaks to everyone in their own way, and do what suits you best.
Yeah, but let's continue with no more pauses.
They believed that the creative life force within semen could be harnessed for applications well beyond its reproductive and pleasurable purposes. There is a scientific basis to what Pythagoras and the ancient alchemists believed. This can be found in the relationship between semen and the brain. The intricate connection between the brain and semen lies in the presence of chemicals like sodium, magnesium, lecithin, and notably phosphorus. The etymology of phosphorus means light bringer. This aligns with its fiery reaction as it stimulates the nervous system and serves as a vital component of both DNA and genetic material. By conserving semen rich in phosphorus, individuals retain the potential for generating fiery, creative energy in the brain. Semen retention also triggers another fascinating response in the brain. The brain, recognizing the absence of ejaculations, will work to enhance mating potential. What does this mean? It means that the retained energy will be redirected by the brain into developing various creative abilities to make one more attractive to a mate. Even in celibacy, the brain remains committed to the evolutionary drive for reproduction. This prompts the brain to enhance mating potential, leading to improvements in various aspects of an individual. This subconscious guidance can often initiate fierce motivation, drive, and the ability to take effective action. Scientific studies indicate that traditional success patterns often emerge in a male's 40s or 50s. This is simply because men at that age tend to shift their focus away from sexual pursuits and redirect that energy towards other areas of life. Perhaps the best evidence for this is the testimonials of successful men in various professions. They often express the great help and transformative power of refocusing sexual energy. Their experiences highlight the profound impact semen retention can have on unlocking potential, achieving success, and realizing one's full capabilities. The many benefits of semen retention are exceedingly obvious. However, as good as it all sounds, it can be extremely difficult to avoid ejaculation and orgasm, especially in the form of masturbation. In 2011, in response to this, the no-fap movement was born. The humorous slang term, fapping, represents the sound of masturbating. The no-fap movement extends beyond merely abstaining from self-pleasure. It also includes a commitment to refrain from watching pornography. The advantages attributed to no-fap closely mirror those associated with semen retention. No-fap suggests what it calls hard mode, which prescribes strict rules to help one avoid ejaculation and to retain one's semen. No-fap's hard mode has 5 rules. They are: 1. No porn or erotic images. 2. No masturbation or orgasm, even without porn. 3. No sex. 4. No lusting. 5. Follow these rules for at least 90 days. Practicing these rules for a minimum of 90 days can be very challenging. However, they can serve as an excellent foundation for reaping the rewards of semen retention much more rapidly. It is important to note, however, that none of these practices should be motivated by feelings of shame or guilt. Rather, abstention from masturbation should be practiced as a personal choice based on the benefits it provides, rather than as a response to societal or personal stigmas. Embarking on a journey of semen retention parallels the challenge of launching a rocket into space. To propel a rocket beyond Earth's gravitational pull, copious amounts of energy are imperative. This energy acts as fuel, facilitating the escape from gravity and achieving escape velocity. However, once in the upper atmosphere or orbit, the journey becomes smoother. The analogy to semen retention lies in understanding the nature of this essential energy. Contrary to common misconceptions, the fuel for semen retention isn't merely rooted in willpower, determination, or punitive feelings like guilt and shame for past actions. Rather, it comprises two fundamental elements: conviction and the willingness to confront the discomfort accompanying the cessation of compulsive habits. Establishing conviction involves clarifying the reasons behind the pursuit of semen retention. The initial days of semen retention might present intense, almost overwhelming sensations of arousal, akin to a rocket ready to launch. However, recognizing this discomfort as a temporary and necessary part of the journey is pivotal. Embracing discomfort as a positive sign facilitates transmutation and eventual relief. In essence, semen retention mirrors the process of launching a rocket into space. The initial days pose the greatest challenge, requiring escape velocity, which arises from the synergy of conviction and the acceptance of temporary discomfort. Once this energetic escape is achieved, the journey unfolds with a host of expansive benefits utterly unique to semen retention. This perspective provides insight into the transformative power of enduring the initial discomfort for the profound rewards that await on the path of semen retention.
Was it just me, or at the end it sounded like he said semen retention like 20 times in a row?
I can't believe how immature I am. Even when they're showing the rockets and it's like a rocket blasting off. I'm like, imagine a guy who's like struggling not to fap. It's like
watching them.
There's gonna be a lot of tension before your rocket blasts off. The guy's like like sweating. I think despite all the silliness, I actually think there's something here, and I think that there's a mature approach to it. And kudos if you go on this journey and you share that information with people. I would consider you brave, but no shame in, I think, trying this out and keeping it to your damn self too.
Yeah.
Seems fine too.
What does it mean for females though? Because there seem to be like some type of a genetic, like the connection with men and semen. Like, is there something there for women in
You're
that?
right. I don't know. Maybe we were just reading it the wrong way, but it's like, I hope they're it's called semen retention, right? Yeah. But I wonder if it's just similar to women,
or how it plays into it for women. Also, another thing I was thinking about there, for some reason I was reminded of that that Bible verse that was like, if you're gonna lust too much or whatever, it was like, get married. You know, I think there's a point here.
If you burn
with passion or something like that, like get married. And I think that kind of pertains to this too for some people out there. I don't know if this is necessarily for like everyone to do. I'm sure there's levels of it to like, you know, to whatever degree you're comfortable, go with it. And then there's also like, what does it mean? Like, say you're married and you run across a video like this.
Well, that's what I was thinking too.
You have to think about your partner too. Yeah. You'd have to be like, look, hon, I want to try this thing out where I don't do anything for 90 days. Is that okay? You know?
See, I have a different kind of view with things like this. I think that there are certain forms of awakening where you will just find that your sexual behavior gets a little more can get changed from the awakening first. Yeah. It's like, I take a different approach, but I understand everybody's different. Some people need to put the cart before the horse, or the horse before the cart, whatever, and some people have to like bootstrap themselves into awakening or whatever. Yeah. But I'm saying that I think that there's certain forms of awakening where the result all of a sudden is that you meditate. Yeah. Where it was like, I hated meditating before, and behold, I had some awakening experience, and now my natural state is actually meditation. And everything else is the interruption, or you know what I'm saying here? I feel like sometimes the things that we discipline ourselves to do, if you just saw clearly, would be what you naturally did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Meaning also, I'm not going to judge somebody that's like the opposite of, you know, semen retention.
Yeah.
What if they're onto something, you know? The only way to know is to actually maybe give it a try.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
All right, guys.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think, and anyone who's brave enough to throw out, you know, maybe their experience.
No pressure.
Let us know. And guys, if you did like our reaction on this video, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone until next time.
Stay spiritual.